Magna Power is a New Jersey manufacturer of custom power supplies for industrial and research applications. Two MiR 100 robots from Mobile Industrial Robots are improving logistics and efficiency for this vertically integrated manufacturer to help it compete in a global market.
Moving materials around the different operations of the company, it takes up a lot of resources. And what we found is people were basically all day long moving materials from one department to another. We thought it'd be great if we could have a way to move those around using an autonomous vehicle.
Applied Controls mentioned that they just started carrying this inventory robot. And they said the price is like, wow, that would pay for itself in about a year. It definitely made a lot of sense for us, because if you were to add up all the man hours of somebody just walking around delivering power, you're talking probably 2-3 employees. We just have it going in a bus route. It keeps on going around, and finally it will go back in the stockroom again. And it will sit there, or go in its charge cradle, get set there for 5 minutes. Stockroom employees can pause it and load up the next round. At a power supply company, we're very concerned about safety. We put the MiR robot through his paces. We jumped right in front of the robot, making sure he would stop. And I mean, it's pretty amazing what he can avoid.
One thing that was pretty astonishing for me is that the robot was delivered. 15 minutes later, it was unpackaged on the floor. And within 2 hours, this thing is traveling from point to point in our building. You have to upload a schematic of our facilities. And that just blew me away.
The web interface allows for very simple programming. The robot can be controlled from any device connected to the network the robot is on, which makes it very quick to make changes, updates, or edits to the mission that it's running. They decided that they want to implement their existing racking to the top of the robot. By the time the robot arrived here, they were ready to go with a full rack system top module that they mounted and implemented on their own.
The purpose of the robot is not to replace employees, but make them more efficient with their time. Now they can focus on the things that we can't get a robot to do. We continually reinvest in new equipment and new techniques, and the MiR robot is just one example of how we are investing towards the future.
It's like the Postal Service, running around in the countryside and distributing mail and driving back to the post office and picking up new letters and parcels and running out again. Our premises cover approximately 10,000 square meters, and we operate from one end to the other. Previously, we used people on foot and trolleys. In all Nordic companies, especially in Danish companies where we have high salaries, it is expensive to hire people to move items around. So, of course, this represents a challenge. We have 5 or 6 locations in the store where it runs over and stops, and then we simply have an employee who comes and exchanges a few items. It does this at 6 locations, and then runs back to our goods reception. It's super easy to program. There is no programming time, and when it is programmed, we can get going straight away. We were, of course, a little skeptical at first because it has to run among stackers and staff who are moving around, so we were, of course, a little skeptical. But we haven't had any collisions. We have not had any employees who didn't think it was fun and have accepted it. There's an option to enable it to drag around goods weighing up to 300 kilograms, which I see as one of the benefits, and also one of the things that we will use it for. We calculate that we are currently saving the manpower of half a worker with our current processes. But it was purchased because in the future we will have tasks that we expect it will be able to perform. So it is about getting it onto the premises, learning how to program it, teaching people that it is around us, that it is around stackers and other rolling stock. This is what is important for us here and now. The advantage of such a thing is that it is inexpensive and easy to program, which means that you get started quickly. These are some of the major advantages I see in this type of product.
The MiR 100 is driving its route in Ing Park Community Center in Brand. It knows its way around the employees and elderly in the center.
indstillet som
Well, it drives on a schedule, like a bus. It starts in one department, where it stops for 10 minutes, then continues to the next department. Then it drives down to the main entrance, where an employee takes the garbage from the robot and then throws it in the garbage disposal. For now, its only job is collecting garbage, but this is an important task and needs to be done regularly to avoid odor emissions from the diapers, and it saves time. Well, we on the third floor are far away from the garbage disposal. If we had to go there twice a day, that would take quite some time. That is why it is so convenient that we can just dump the garbage here.
det hjælper jo også
Well, getting rid of the garbage faster helps prevent odor emissions and also improves our working environment. The employees don't have to dump the garbage at a specific place. Just leave it here with Roberta, who is right next to the garbage can. So, you can save time and money. The municipality will use the experience gained here to look into possible other uses for the robot in the municipality's community centers. Please move aside. It can transport many things and help with those tasks that don't require contact to the citizens, so that there is more time for us to spend with the citizens. Garbage is just one of many things. It could also transport laundry or the food and groceries we get delivered. Basically, everything that needs to be transported within the building could be considered. And I think the employees are in the best position to decide what makes most sense. Currently, we are only using it for garbage, but we are hoping for more, getting diapers, towels, or other things for the residents, for example. Or maybe also food if we get a bigger kitchen someday. It can save us a lot of walking. The MiR 100, or Roberta, what the robot is called here, has proved itself to be very user-friendly and cautious. There are no problems with the elderly or those with dementia.
Jamen, jeg er ikke bange for den.
I'm not scared of it driving
For den
around
kører
there.
udenom. Den er meget rolig og omgængelig.
It is very quiet and cautious, and we have actually paid great attention to this because we have many patients with dementia. We asked ourselves how these residents would react to the robot, but it is very cautious and it doesn't just cruise around. It drives carefully and slowly and also makes some sounds, so there is nothing to worry with it driving around here. Today, it's only moving garbage, but employees and managers see many other possibilities for the robot. The next care center that is specifically designed for the use of transport robots will have more possibilities and can switch the wagons, depending on what to transport. This even increases its potential. The possibilities with this robot are increasing day by day.
The hospital in Sunabul has been given a new employee, Ejner. A MiR robot that is part of a scheduled service transports chemomedicine from the laboratory in the basement up to the relevant department. Here we are talking about medicine which costs several thousands of dollars, added to the fact that they must be delivered on time every time and they cannot get stuck on the way. The requirements have generally been really high here, but it also provides a good insight into what we can use AGVs for. It's been really positive to see. Firstly, MiR has been able to keep pace with the developments we want, but at the same time, they have delivered a product that does not break down all the time, which means that we have had no electrical errors at all. Now, it works really well when it arrives on the ward, so you will often hear patients say, "Hi, Ejner." Here comes Ejner, naturally somewhere when you need chemotherapy. This makes Ejner your best friend when he turns up. They have really embraced it. There were many who were very skeptical about whether it would work at all, because of the challenges it was facing. Would it even make sense to have it? And we have been able to observe over the past month that it is making perfect sense. Staff are happy with it, the patients think it's fun, and it is suitable for the work. With a payback period of 9 to 10 months, can Sunabul Hospital conclude that MiR saves precious time for staff every day? People have heads and they have hands, and that is what we should make use of. We should not use people to sit and drive a stupid truck in the basement. This is not the future. All those boring, repetitive tasks which take a lot of time, we want to deploy AGVs. This means things like transport of linen, waste, drugs, blood, plasma, you name it. We intend to transport it this way. Firstly, it is an industrial product that any electrician in principle can take apart in service. This means our operating costs are dramatically reduced, while we have also seen that MiR has been able to deliver some interfaces at a level where our users can participate. This means that in principle, we can have our own support organization, because we can run it remotely from here, for example. We do not need a man at Sunable to handle it. If it costs even one man to deal with it here at Sunable, then you have just thrown your profits away already. So it is an extremely important parameter for us. It is a good product. I like the idea. It's like a roundabout. It is ingenious. It is simple, but the potential is really, really great. We have so many logistical challenges we need to solve within the hospital system, and with this free approach to technology, it also means that the amount of tasks we can go in and fix is maybe 4 times more compared to the technology we were using last year. So it begins to make much more sense.
MedTech is one of Europe's leading development and production partners for medical technology products. They recently acquired a MiR 100 mobile robot. Our new mobile robot has now driven around 500 kilometers. On average, it probably covers an approximate distance of 7.5 kilometers every day.
When we first got our mobile robot, it was fun, but also a little weird. What is this thing doing here? And how will it do it? But as it started moving around the factory from A to Z, it enabled a much better and faster flow in our material delivery. Before, we tended to collect things in big piles. But now we get a steady stream of deliveries.
Our employees used to physically walk the deliveries from their own department down to where the material was going through to the next production step. But now, they can just place the deliveries on the mobile robot and it's all taken care of, and they can continue working.